AMC stock update. Okay guys, so here we are with an update on AMC stock, and the reason why we're posting an update now is because, this basically stock had been selling off for a little bit. So what I personally been doing is absolutely nothing, just been holding on to the remaining shares of my AMC stock. There's been a lot of bullish news that's come out about the movie theater industry in general, and it looks like a lot of the bargain buyers have come in to buy up AMC stock. Okay, so AMC hit a pretty low RSI of around 35. The last time we saw that was way back in early May before the massive run up, and we had a pretty green day. Okay, the stock finished up 7% on Thursday's session, is even up in the after hours. So this looks like a nice dip buying opportunity. I think there's a ton of support at around $32, and that's why we're seeing some of the buyers come in. So we're going to talk a little bit about kind of AMC stock's future, some bullish news in the movie industry, and where I think the stock is headed. Before I get into the video, guys, I remind you guys to check out my deals page at investortrip.com/deals so you guys can grab some of the latest promotions out there to get your free stocks and your free crypto. So let's get right into it, guys. Give you guys a short interest update, AMC short interest. Like I said, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I post some of my trades when I make them real time, as well as some other interesting links. You can follow me over my Twitter. That's at Investor Trip. You guys use Twitter. So let's give you guys an update on the short interest. We're basically at around 20% of the free float with a 102.2 million shares on loan. So it looks like the short interest is really ramped up for AMC, and that completely makes sense. Okay, the stock has been down for quite a bit ever since it basically peaked out at around, I would say, $60. Basically almost a month ago. It's just been in a free fall, and this looked like one of the strongest green days that I've seen in quite some time. And it looks like a lot of people just thought the stock was a little bit too cheap at $32. So I actually recommended AMC. I ended up buying in at $6, so I'm more than comfortable with holding. I did think about panic selling and things like that, but being in the markets for a while and just seeing this thing happen over and over again. I mean, if you just think about, at the beginning of the year, the stock was $2. So, even if, it's still maybe at like $36 or $38, still from $2 to $38 in around 7 months is absolutely unbelievable. For the stock market. And for some of you guys that ended up buying here at the top, this is not financial advice, but I do think there is some bullish momentum, and obviously the short interest is back up. So it just looks like this thing is going into cycles, right? So the short interest goes up, people attack the stock, the short squeeze happens, then the short interest goes down, then people get bored, and then they dump the stock and look for other opportunities. So now that the short interest is ramping back up, it looks like we could see another potential short squeeze. But I also want to talk about some of the fundamental things about AMC. Okay, I don't want to just talk about the short squeeze aspect because that's just one side of the story. So let's get into that update as well. So this was posted obviously every weekend. Okay, websites like Rotten Tomatoes, they're going to basically talk about how the movie industry is doing. So fundamentally, there is a huge pent-up demand for the movie industry. As you can see here, last weekend, it says the Black Widow takes new pandemic record with 80+ million plus 60 billion on Disney. So according to this article, these two movie releases done really well. So it says Black Widow is set to reach its first $100 million later this week. And, it says traditionally movie openings with 80 million or more sell past 200 million total. So it looks like there was a really good weekend for the box office last week, and I would expect that to continue heading into this weekend. So, Black Widow, there's a couple more movies that are out there. There's, like I said, they've got obviously other movies in the pipeline as well. This should be an excellent August as well for the movie industry. So these are all good bullish signs. Okay, as long as there's good movies coming out, AMC is still the king in American movie theaters, so they're going to do very well. So now what I want to talk about, I want to talk a little bit about kind of what we're looking at. So as you can see here, if we take a look at this chart, we can see there's a ton of support, okay, for AMC stock at $32. So obviously when the stock was mad hyped and it ran all the way up, you can see here at this RSI, it was just too popular. So when this RSI is over 70, we say that it's overbought or getting too popular is another way to look at it. When we see the RSI come back down to around 30, we see that it's oversold or it's getting unpopular. So what am I personally doing with my AMC? I told myself that obviously, I remember in some of my earlier AMC videos, I told you guys that I ended up selling some AMC at around, I believe I sold at around $57, and some of you guys, gave me some flack in the comments, but this is exactly why I like to sell a little bit at the peak, okay? I'm not going to hold 100% of my position. I'm doing this. Obviously, I took some profits in AMC stock. I paid some medical bills for my family and things like that. But I also wanted to hold on to some shares for myself personally because, like I said, I ended up buying at 6. So even though I sold some at 57, I'm still holding some of those original shares that I purchased at $6. So I'm still up around 6x looking at the current price here. But I know that a lot of people have moved on. They've gotten bored. At least it looks like a lot of people the market is at a high altogether, okay, across the board. So perhaps a lot of people are just saying, oh, okay, let me just sell and take profits and things like that. Maybe they're taking a look at this downward resistance and then they're getting out. But here's what I think about AMC stock, okay? Is this a long-term recovery? We don't know. We don't know if the movie industry that was getting absolutely crushed in the last decade by platforms like Netflix, we don't know if this bounce back is legit. But I will tell you one thing. A lot of people that didn't go to the movie theaters in the last decade are coming back. So fundamentally, I do believe there is potential for a recovery. An $18 billion market cap. We've talked about this in this video. We said that if the price to sales ratio recovered to pre-pandemic levels, that AMC could potentially be around $120 stock. So there is some upside there, but there is some risk. And the biggest risk is with the volume, okay? A stock like AMC, it needs volume to trade higher. And the thing that worries me a bit about this stock, we can see here when AMC stock was really ripping, right? So 57, 60, when everyone was excited about it. Heck, I was tracking the stock basically throughout the day. I was posting videos about it every day. The volume has decreased, guys. So, in some of the better days, we saw, 300 million shares, 500 million shares. Now, as of recently, the volume is like 60 million, 57 million. Barely 100 million, okay? That latest green day, it was at $194 million. So as volume goes, AMC goes. If we're seeing periods like right here where it's a lower volume, the stock's not going to move much, okay? But this is encouraging. We've had 4 straight days in a row of increased volume. So on the 12th, 62, and then on the 13th, 83 million, and then on the 14th, 135 million. And then on the 15th, 194 million. So if this trend continues, we should see a pretty massive green day for AMC on Friday. Of course, this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion. But we could be set up for a pretty explosive day. So I think this is a great stock if you wanted to swing trade this heading into the weekend. And we'll see as the volume goes. If we have some massive pickup, the short interest is up. I believe that this stock could squeeze. We're probably going to go back to 40, 45, something like that before the end of the weekend. So there is some short-term arbitrage opportunity. But if you guys missed the last run-up, I don't think it's too late. I think a lot of people are going to see that higher short interest. They're going to be getting back into the stock. So guys, I think let's see what happens on the weekend. Like I said, be sure to follow me on Twitter for more updates on AMC stock. If you guys enjoy my content, please smash the like button and hit the red subscribe button to receive more videos from me. So that's until next time, guys. Take care.